Hey everybody, this is Dallas Stone here, doing another video for everybody. Today's video I'm going to be talking about early challenges of becoming a 3D artist. Now for me, starting out, going to school and things like that, I wasn't sure if I was going to be good at this. So confidence was definitely one of the biggest challenges for me, and the reason why is going to be explained to you guys here in this video. So first and foremost, for me as an artist, I just found it really difficult to be creative. You know, I played games like BioShock, and I played games like the Star Wars games and Gears of War, and I played like a bunch of these games back in the day, and I was wondering to myself, how am I supposed to make environments look this cool? You know, and it's something that I had to realize is you need to have inspiration, right? You need to find inspiration, and not everything is original. And that's something that you need to sink inside your head, and it took me a really long time to understand this, is not everything is original, and it is very hard to be original. So don't try and be original right away, okay? I'm not encouraging people to go in and blatantly copying things. That's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is take other people's ideas and create it to make your own. Right? It's going to be so difficult for a new person to come up with a fresh new idea. Okay? It's almost impossible. But what you can do is grab ideas that you like, change it up, make it, add your flair to it, right? And what you think looks good, add to what's originally out there, and that will create something fresh. It might not create something new, but it will create something fresh. And for some people who have never seen your inspiration before, for people who haven't seen your inspiration, they're gonna think that it's new. Okay, so that's very, very, very important. For me, I constantly check out my favorite concept artists. I love concept artists because they always give me ideas. So search up some concept artists, and I'll be honest with you. If you find some really cool concept artists, my favorite concept artist is Feng Zhu, and honestly, when I watch his tutorials, when I watch his videos, when I look at his art gallery and I see his work, it inspires me, and sometimes some of my environments come from that. For people who have explored my website, you'll see that a lot of my 3D work has come from concept artists, their work and their vision of something, and then I just create it in 3D. The next one that I want to talk about is software knowledge. You know, as someone starting out in the 3D field, learning Maya, for example, is not easy. Maya is so complicated, and until you've been working with Maya in like, I'm talking about months here, until you've worked months in Maya, and I'm talking about like 6 months to a year in Maya, you don't really know Maya. You're gonna forget hotkeys. You're gonna forget efficient ways of doing things. You know, it's going to be difficult. You know, Photoshop, you're going to forget little cool tips and tricks that your teacher or your instructor has taught you. So you're going to forget these things, and you're going to have to relearn them, right? So software knowledge is something that takes years and years of practice for you to actually get good at. So don't get frustrated with software knowledge. Okay, it's going to mean it's natural for you to feel like you're behind with software knowledge. The only way for you to get better with the software is by continuously working on it and speaking to your instructors, speaking to your peers, because majority of the time your instructor is going to see that you're modeling and realize, why are you doing it that way? How about I show you a quicker way of doing something? Okay. And that segues into the next topic. The next thing I want to talk about is correct techniques and technical skills. And these are things, again, you're going to learn as you do it. You know, the correct techniques. Now that's really broad. Everyone has their own way of doing something, right? It's all about which way do you work most efficiently with and correctly with, right? There are multiple ways of creating objects. You know, there's multiple ways of creating your scene and putting in image planes into your scene. So you just have to figure out which way works for you, which way do you remember the best, and which way is the fastest for you, right? So make sure you keep that in mind. But also remember that if you don't ask questions, if you feel like you're doing something and it's really slow, ask your peers, ask your instructors, and I can guarantee you they'll sit down and teach you a quicker way of doing something. Okay. And last but not least, and I know a lot of people are probably going to wonder why this is even on the challenges of becoming a 3D artist, is traditional art skills. Now, why is traditional art skills so important? Well, first off, traditional art, if you understand traditional art like drawing, if you can draw really well, usually you understand. Something that took me a really long time to understand when it came to drawing is drawing the form, right? Instead of drawing what you see with your eyes, drawing the form of the shape that you're looking at. And I know that that's really confusing and it's really hard to explain. And it took me months to finally for it to click into my head that you have to stop drawing what you see in front of you. Analyze the shape, draw the shape. Okay, and why is that important? Why is that important? It's important because modeling is the same way. You know, you don't model a car or a chair by just drawing the outline of the shape of the chair. No, that's not how that works. You have to draw the basic shapes that make the chair. Okay, so having strong traditional art skills like drawing, and it takes time. I mean, I was not someone that had a sketchbook on me all the time, and I still today don't draw all the time, but I knew that when I understood how to do it in 2D, like drawing, my understanding for 3D multiplied, and I became a better 3D artist. Okay, so if you don't draw, I recommend you do. If you don't sketch once in a while, I recommend you sketching. And what you're going to start to notice is when you start sketching the form of shapes instead of what you see in front of you, your modeling will also improve because you'll start to analyze a mesh that you're trying to model, and you're going to start with the basic forms first, and then it's going to make it you just start to have this connection between 2D and 3D, and honestly when you get to that connection, it'll make you a better artist. Alright, thank you guys so much for the tuning in to the video, and I got one more video coming up, and I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos.